Hi, welcome to Laid Back Learning and Living. I'm Heather. Today, we're going to talk about how I schedule out my 3 kids. I have a 6th grader, a 1st grader, and a kindergartner. And this can be a lot to juggle, especially for a new homeschooler, and thinking, how is it possible that I could teach all 3 grades during the same day? Let me show you how I do it. My 6th grader is the one who's able to be the most independent. So I came up with a paper that she just completes and marks off her lessons each day. I was able to pick up just a dry erase pocket in the Target dollar spot when it was back to school time. And I love these dry erase folders. They're perfect for all kinds of activities that you want to be able to reuse. And I've had this one last a couple years now. On the computer, I just did a quick little table and then just using Word, printed out her lessons that she's going to be responsible for throughout the week, her daily lessons, and up in the top box here, we have piano, her Spanish lesson, and then her teaching textbooks. And then within each of the teaching textbooks, her math program, I just write what lesson it is that she's to complete that day. Otherwise, for piano and Spanish, she just marks off the box that she's completed them. Her math fact practice, which is typically a game that we play together, I just typed out what each curriculum or subject was that she was going to be doing. So we had vocabulary, spelling, her Brave Writer Arrow, and then her writing project that we're going to be working on, or her free write that she'll be doing for that day. And I just use a wet erase marker. That way I can write in her lesson that she's going to complete for that day and what's going to be expected of her. And then she can come through with a dry erase marker and mark off each lesson. So that makes it so for her math lessons, I can just fill it out for the week and she's not going to erase it. And I'll just erase it at the end of the week when I redo it for the following week. As she completes each lesson in the morning, while I'm working with my other younger 2, she can just mark off and then she turns in the page at the end of the day along with her completed work into the check bin so that I can check everything that she's worked on her own. After she's on her own doing her work, I sit down with my youngest first. That way she gets some attention, then she's less likely to then interrupt the other 2. And we'll do her phonics and language arts stuff along with her math. While I'm working with my youngest daughter, my son will be overdoing his piano for about 15 or 20 minutes, and then he moves on to his phonics practice that he's able to do on his own. When he finishes that up, he'll come sit next to me and start working on his math lesson, which will be anything that he can kind of complete on his own, and I'll just look over and help him read instructions if he needs help with that. Once I'm done working with my youngest daughter and my son with their one-on-one time, my oldest daughter is typically done with about 2/3 of her independent work. And then we break and go outside and play around for about 15-20 minutes. And it gives them a nice little break to the morning. By then, they've usually been working for about an hour, maybe hour and a half, depending on how the morning's going. And then we'll come back together and we'll do some of our group subjects. So that's when we do our reading for our geography or history, science. We'll also throw in our artist study and composer at that time. And we do those just alternating depending on the day of the week. Once we're done with all of that, then it's typically lunchtime and my youngest 2 are completely done with school. I don't expect them to do a whole lot of work with our history, science, and geography. They're kind of more along for the ride, and whatever they want to participate in, they're more than welcome to, but I'm not quizzing them by any means. Following our lunch break, that's when I get to work one-on-one with my oldest daughter. The other 2 typically go and play outside together or have a quiet time in the afternoon, depending on the season. Right now, with the good weather, they want to be outside playing. Typically in the winter, they'll do an hour of quiet time in their rooms where they play independently or do some reading. And this gives us the opportunity to have some quiet time with my oldest daughter. That's when we'll go over her Arrow stuff, things that we're working on within that, her grammar lessons, and any writing projects that she's needing my help on, or any questions that she had in her math. Once we've completed the lessons that my oldest daughter needed my help with, then we're done for the day. And typically our day ends around 2 o'clock, and then the kids are able to go and play and pursue any activities that they were interested in for the day, or go outside and play and hang out. I hope some of these scheduling ideas are able to help you in trying to manage teaching multiple grades all on the same day. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future content. We'll see you next time. Travis.
Sorry.
Thank you. I hope is it making sense?
To me, not at all.
And while that's happening, my youngest son will be working. Excuse me, I only have one son, and he's not the youngest.